Hello and welcome to We Never Met, the podcast where I have interesting strangers on every single week. Today we have
Liz Solheim.
How are you doing?
Good. How about you?
Good. So we were just chatting a little bit. So you've been here in Chicago for how many years now?
So what is that?
It's 2019. When did you come here?
2004.
Okay. 15 years?
15 years.
I had to really check the math on that one. I'm like, ooh.
That's some shocking math.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Does it feel like 15 years though?
Kind of no.
No? Went by pretty fast?
Yeah, it does go by fast. And I've kind of had like the same group of friends.
Okay.
So I think that makes it seem like not as long. I don't know.
Did you come down here knowing people or did you meet people here?
I came down here to go to college at Columbia for photography.
Okay.
I lasted like half a semester.
Then you're like, nah.
Then I was like, no, not for me.
So because you are a chef and you are in the culinary world, so how did you make the transition then from photography or being interested to that to doing food?
So I've always liked food. I've always liked cooking.
Yeah.
But it was really when I went to Italy.
Okay.
So I decided Colombia wasn't for me.
Sure.
And then I went to Italy to be an au pair and like teach English to children, which is ridiculous because my English skills are so poor.
Mine are so bad too.
They're so poor. And they had a chef. Her name was Noemi, and she didn't speak any English. And I had a semester of like college Italian, and I was like, I got this. Super confident, just through the roof.
Yeah.
Which was useless when I got there.
Sure.
But she taught me a lot, and then when I got home, I started culinary school.
Wow.
Yeah.
So she was the inspiration to kind of get into it.
Kind of. Yeah. I just I loved what she did, and I loved the idea of just like making everybody's meals every day. You know?
Because she was a chef for a family specifically?
For the people that I worked for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The interesting thing to me is like, why did you gravitate towards that specifically, even after culinary school? Like, because I'm sure you could have done anything really.
Yeah. So, I mean, I never really wanted like traditional restaurant hours. You know, I didn't want to work on Christmas, and I didn't want to be working until 1 a.m. every day.
That's such a bummer. Yeah.
Yeah. And just the personal aspect of it was really like appealing to me.
Yeah.
And I really, really liked kind of just that combo, like really nice hours, a pretty sweet vacation package.
Yeah.
And like I could still see all of my friends who weren't in the industry.
Right.
So like all of my industry friends, you know, they get out at 1.
Right.
So like I could still see them, but then my friends that I've known since I was 18, you know, if I want to get dinner with them or just, you know, grab a drink and hang out.
Yeah.
It wouldn't really be an option if I worked in a restaurant.
Right. It's like having a balance, like having a life balance.
It's a good balance.
Other than just like working working like terrible hours, really.
I think like, you know, a true like badass restaurant chef, like that's their priority.
Right.
But as much as I love food, like I also need my life, you know, I also need like my friends and people I love and other hobbies that I love. So I needed the balance.
So from a young age, before you even went to culinary school or came down here for school, were you involved in like culinary stuff, or did you enjoy it, or was it kind of like a later on life kind of thing?
I mean, it like as far as job wise, no.
Okay.
I served drinks in the cafeteria at Wilmot Mountain. So that was my first food job.
That's cool.
But I mean, I was always interested in food. My mom was cleaning out a room in her house, and she found I used to inventory the fridge and make like a little menu and bring
really
it to my parents. And it was like, do you want orange juice or milk or like peanut butter?
We have apples today. They're fresh.
Yeah. Really fresh.
Yeah.
And so I would just like make little menus and like present them to my parents.
That's so funny.
So I've always been into it. It's always been something that I've liked.
Yeah, because it's fun. My parents kept all that stuff. Like we have a whole room. We call it the cold room, where in like the basement, because there's no there's no what do you call it? What makes a room cold or not? Insulation.
Oh,
there we
gotcha.
go.
Yeah.
It's just like a room, and it has all of our old projects in it and stuff. Like
it's your archive room.
Yeah, exactly. As if we're like brilliant
temperature
minds.
Controlled. Archival.
Look at all these scrolls of like beautiful stuff you did in elementary school.
Macaroni art.
Yeah. It's like, why did you keep this? Like, we're never going to look at this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But that was one of the things I was very, very glad my mom kept, because she gave them to me and now I have them. And I just like, they're ridiculous, but I love them.
How many did you make? Was it a lot?
I think she saved probably like 5.
Okay.
But I did it very frequently.
Yeah. Those are the 5 best.
Yeah.
The prime ones.
That's when we had a really good fridge stock.
Yeah. So, So you said you worked at was it a ski resort?
Oh, a ski hill. They couldn't even call it a mountain. I mean, it was called Wilmot Mountain, but everybody called it the ski hill because it was low level.
Oh yeah. Because I mean, we had Crystal Ridge where I grew up, or not Crystal. It was turned into like the Rock or something now, but it was a landfill that they made into a ski hill.
I don't know if that's what ours was. It genuinely may have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a Wisconsin thing. It's like, economical.
Cover in snow.
No one will notice.
People pay to come here.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
So when you came down here to Chicago, you said you were at school for like half a semester, and then you so once you were done, how did you find the job in Italy? Like, was it a right away thing, or were you like searching a little bit?
So I was a camp counselor right after I went to Columbia.
Okay.
And there was a lot of staff from the UK and from Europe, and I became super, super close with them.
Yeah.
And I came back here, and I was just kind of like, I miss the adventure. Like, I miss knowing people that, are from far off places, and I just really liked that. And so I just looked at like a staffing agency. And so I think it was maybe 3 months after I was a camp counselor, I like found the people, did all the interviews and stuff, and then I just flew over.
So what was your experience like overall in Italy? Like, cause you were there for 10 months?
Yeah, it wasn't great.
I have my opinions about Italy cause I've been there as well. So
I love Italy, but the people that I worked for were
not the best.
Yeah. There were a lot of things promised that like weren't delivered. Like, I was supposed to get a day off every week. I got 1 day off the whole time I was there.
What?
Yeah,
that's
so it was like kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But the place where they lived was really beautiful, and like I learned a lot. So I'm glad I went, but like being there, I didn't love it.
Where in Italy were you specifically?
In Carrara.
Where is that? In
Tuscany, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I was in Italy. I studied abroad in Ireland for 6 months. And so we went over to Italy, and I was in Florence, Rome, and Venice. Those are the 3 places I went to.
Very cool.
I didn't really like it.
No, why?
No, I didn't like Rome specifically. It felt I felt sketched out when I was there. Mm-hmm. And it's insane because we went to Vatican City when we were there, obviously in Rome.
Yeah.
And like the closer you get, it seems, to Vatican City, the more sketchy it gets, which is ironic, I feel like, because
that's really weird.
You're getting to like a holier place.
You got to go through some stuff to get to the Holy Land.
It gets weird, and you got to go through like metal detectors to get into Vatican City. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, it's super intense. But
that's super intense.
Yeah, so I don't know. I just didn't really like Rome. Venice was really cool, obviously, because it's going to be underwater eventually, and you're not going to be able to see it. Yeah. But I don't know. I like France a lot. I was in France.
I love France.
But yeah, Italy just wasn't for me. I don't know.
Where'd you go in France?
We went to Nice and Paris.
Nice.
Yeah, so
very cool.
It was a cool. I really like Nice a lot. I would always say if I retired, I would go there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's so nice.
I love Nice. Oh my gosh.
You're right on the ocean, and
it's like perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. We started when we did it a couple years ago. I travel every year with that group from the UK who I met when we were camp counselors.
Yeah.
And we did France maybe in like 2016.
Yeah.
I don't know. But we started in Paris, and then we went to Lyon, and then Avignon, and then we ended in Nice.
Yeah.
And I was like, why weren't we here the whole time?
Yeah, I know. Like, people talk a lot of smack being from America about France, but I love it there. It was nice.
Amazing.
And the people are so nice.
They're so nice.
Yeah, they get a really bad rap, for being like rude. Yeah. I'm like, no, I think we're probably rude. And
we're definitely rude. Yeah. We're just like the Americans.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Like just trouncing over everything, not paying attention. But yeah, it was really cool. So do you have any specific stories from living in Italy that like you can remember that either were really interesting to you or?
No, not really. The biggest, like the hardest thing was that I didn't know how to drive stick shift. And the car that they wanted me to drive, it was like a brand new BMW. And
that's a lot of pressure.
It had a stick shift. And I was like, you guys, I don't know how to drive this.
Yeah, this is brand new.
And the wife was teaching me, but her English was so horrible. Like she would switch up, like stop and go.
Yeah.
And like very crucial.
Yeah, those are 2 words you really
directives.
need. Stop now, wait,
like,
go or no?
Yeah, it was like maybe 10 days into it. She's like, I don't think you should drive anymore.
Yeah, good call.
You can walk to the grocery store.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, that's
because were you in a rural area or was it like a more city area? Because it's hard to learn in a city.
Yeah, it wasn't like a big. It was a burb. I would say.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Because I learned stick shift as well when I was growing up, and I I almost made myself sick. And my dad was like teaching me, and we went to like a place where there wasn't any cars, but like the amount of like this happening in a car. Oh my gosh. I'm surprised. He was just so calm. I'm like, how are you this? I'm like getting ill.
Oh yeah. No, my dad too. I think when I graduated high school, before I started college, he took me to the high school parking lot, and like we were out there for like at least 3 hours. He was like, Liz, if you want to go home, you can. Like, he was so nice.
Yeah.
It's like, should we go home? Yeah. Cannot drive stick.
Oh my gosh. It's so hard to learn.
It's so
such
hard.
a weird thing.
It's like the clutch. It's like this. It's like the putting the clutch off and pushing out. It's that combo
like
that I can't do.
You know, it's like a certain pedal and like a certain amount of pressure you have to get.
It's like, it's a balance, and I do not have it.
Right. It's like, you know, either you do it too fast and like the engine literally drops out of your car, or you do it too slow and the car just stops.
Yeah. That was me. It always just stopped. And my dad's like, all right, start it up again.
Oh my gosh.
He was very patient.
And then you have to learn like how to drive up hills. And if there's a stop sign up on the hill and you stall out, that's terrifying. There's a car in the back of you.
No, my nightmare. Why does anybody drive
automatic
stick?
Cars?
Why?
They have automatic ones. Let's just do those.
Why do people drive stick? I don't understand.
I still don't get it.
No.
Especially now.
I know. It's 2019.
Yeah, they're affordable. They're the same price, you know. Sometimes manual cars are more expensive. Yeah, so I'm just like, I'm not doing that anymore.
No way. No,
I'm not trying to like drift backwards on an incline and hit a car.
Yeah.
No,
thank you.
But that's funny. I mean, like, so, and you've done something super cool. You were on TV.
I was on TV.
Yeah. And so you were on Cutthroat Kitchen, on the Food Network. So how did that come about for you? When did you do that?
I did that in 2015.
2015. Okay.
Yeah. And so they like messaged me on Instagram that like I had posted a picture of like pasta or something.
Yeah.
Like, you know, would you ever want to be on this? Like, here's the application process. And then I was like, I don't know, sure. Like, I never really thought about it. Yeah. But so then you have to go through kind of the whole application and like Skype interviews and stuff. Okay. A lot of calls.
What do they like ask you in the calls and the interview process?
I think they want to know that you have some kind of like you have something to bring to the table. You're not just like cardboard. You know what I mean? Like you want to be like at least a little interesting. Yeah,
exactly.
They don't want somebody who's like super flat. And I think they thought I was like very weird. They kept calling me quirky, which was just like them being like, you're a stone cold weirdo, but like, let's do this.
Yeah.
Everybody was so great and so fun. And I found out that I got the show and I was going to go on it maybe 5 days before I had to go.
Oh, wow.
So that was fun. I was actually hosting a bachelorette weekend.
Okay.
So I had to shift that to someone else's house, but I couldn't tell anybody why because you're not allowed to tell people. So I was like, oh, my house is really dirty. I'm not up. Like, no one believed me.
Yeah.
Nobody believed me.
I don't have time for some reason now.
Just things change.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. It was like they fly you out there. And then
was this filmed in LA or New York?
In LA, yeah. And the studio is like in downtown LA.
Oh, cool.
And it was the coolest experience. It was so fun. I was so nervous.
I bet. Yeah.
I was so nervous. Everybody else, like you get there and the 3 other contestants, one was like this like 22-year-old who was already like sous chef at this really great place. And then there was this guy who's been cooking for, 30 years and has owned multiple restaurants.
Right.
And then this woman who's written like 5 cookbooks. And they're like, what do you do? I'm like, I'm a personal chef. Like, my God.
And I'm going to beat all of you.
Literally everybody thought, like everyone's like, she's first gone. Like they were being so sweet to me. Like, that was really good. Like, oh, good job.
Stop doing that.
They were being like so just like, you little.
Yeah. That's that almost is worse. Like the over nice thing. I'm like, stop being so nice to me, okay? I'm about to bring all these skills.
I will kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long were you on there?
So it's
is it one episode?
So it's like there's 4 contestants and then each round you get eliminated and then there's one person left.
Okay.
So it's like Chopped where like it's one episode.
Yeah.
And so they flew me out and then the next day at like, I don't know, 6, they like pick you up at the hotel, take you in, hair and makeup and all that stuff.
Sure.
And then obviously depending on how long you stay in the competition is how long your day is. So I think it was probably like a 13-ish hour day.
Wow. Did you win? Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah.
And then the next day is when they do like the talking head stuff.
Okay.
And again, however long you're on. Kind of depends. Right. So like the guy that was eliminated first, I think he was there for an hour. Okay. You know, but I was there for a very long time.
Yeah, where you're like, in your face.
I was so nervous. The talking head part was what I was the most nervous about.
Oh, sure. And you had to do it the longest because you were like,
But I was so nervous, and I stutter when I'm nervous.
Okay.
And so there's like the woman off camera asking you all these questions, and you're supposed to be looking right into the camera.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, okay, say your name. I'm like, shuffle is like just.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I remixed that. Let me just do this. Chef.
We're not supposed to remix? Yeah. It's fine.
Okay, it's fine. I thought I would be unique.
Creative license, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever. We'll do what you want.
Yeah, so she had to like radio down to the kitchen for someone to bring me up like a cup of whiskey because I was so I was just like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah. Let me get some liquid courage.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was so fun. It was insane. And
that's such a cool experience.
It was such a cool experience. And in the beginning, because it's called Cutthroat Kitchen, you like walk down the staircase like into the kitchen, you know, so it's all on camera.
Right.
And you're all standing in a row. And you're supposed to just like look down the line and trash talk people.
Oh, really?
And everybody
in front of them?
Yeah, that's like part of it because it's like cutthroat.
Yeah.
And so everybody came like ready to strike with like sick burns and like I was just looking like, yeah. And they were like, cut, Chef Elizabeth, were you gonna say anything? And I was like, you got it.
Yeah.
And then literally, I remember so clearly, I did like a hand on hip, and I was you're going home, and that was all I could think of.
To every single one of them.
Just that was it.
You're going home.
You're going home. And they were like, wow.
You got me.
Sick burn.
Yeah. Nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used to have the same problem though, stuttering when I was young. Young too, because my last name's Kierkegaard, which is a hard name to say. So when you're like in classes and they like would make you like say your name.
Oh yeah.
And they'd be like, okay, what's your name? And I'm like, I don't want to say it. Don't make me say Kierkegaard.
I'm just saying.
It's too long.
Yeah.
The artist formerly known as.
Go Oprah.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. Just one name. Everyone will know. Say it's Sam.
Oh, Sam?
Obviously.
Yeah.
I know
Obviously.
him. Yeah. So, what do you get? Because were you excited that you won? Like
I was so excited that I won.
Because how does because it's not on anymore, right? Currently, or is it Cutthroat Kitchen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it is. It's still going.
Yeah. I think they're in like their 16th season or something ridiculous. Yeah. It's outrageous.
So what do you get for winning?
So everybody starts with 25 grand.
Okay.
And the cutthroat part of it is they'll like say what you have to make, and then Alton Brown comes out and he's like,
wow, how was it to meet him? Was that cool?
We're best friends.
Yeah.
We're not, but like I feel it. Like I feel it so hard. Yeah. We were buds.
Yeah.
He was amazing. He's exactly what you think.
Yeah.
Like perfect. So like they give you challenges and they auction them off. And so like you use your money to buy them and give them to other contestants.
Okay.
So
like I think he's going to struggle with this, so I want to give it to him.
So we had hush puppies, which are made with cornmeal. And so one of the things was if you bought this, you could take all the contestants' cornmeal and replace it with cornflakes, corn nuts, and like popcorn.
Okay.
So like that's hard. Like that'll screw you up, you know? And so stuff like that. So just like you can screw over your contestants, and whatever you don't spend is what you take home. So like some people have left with like $300, but some people have left with like
20,000.
Yeah. And so I think I left with, I had almost all of my money until the last round.
Okay.
Because everyone just kept giving me stuff.
Oh yeah.
Just, the easy out. Everybody kept giving me stuff. And so I had most of my money at the end.
Yeah.
And then the guy it was just him and I at the end.
Yeah.
He had spent so much of his money.
Okay.
Giving stuff to me, giving stuff to the other two. And so anything that came, I was like, yeah, he gets it.
You take it.
He had nothing
you can't do
to
anything.
do.
Yeah.
He had nothing to do.
Yeah.
So I think I left with 15,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So I spent like 10 grand in one round, but it was worth it.
Is that all taxed though too when you get out? So
yeah. So you get maybe like half of it.
Yeah.
Because the state you live in taxes it, but also California taxes it, which is honestly
that's so bogus.
That's some bogus stuff.
I know. It's like you won this. I feel like you should get it. You know. So I heard that about like game shows too, where it's like if you win a car, you got to pay taxes on that car. So like some people can't even afford to get the car.
Yep, they can't afford their own prize, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So crazy.
I'm just like, that's not how it should work.
No.
They're all excited that they won. Oh, you got to pay $10,000 to get that car. Actually.
Oh.
Okay.
Keep the car.
Yeah. Never mind.
That's for you.
Yeah. Whatever.
My gift to you.
Yeah. But that's so awesome.
It was so awesome.
Did that open a lot of opportunities for you afterwards?
I mean, I didn't capitalize on it in the way that I should have. So,
hindsight's 2020. Though.
I mean, for sure. But, so the week that I was supposed to air, I got a call from the girl who cast me.
Sure.
Or no, kind of like the girl that was there with me throughout the day and like walking me through all this stuff. She was like, "Hey Liz, like we have some really bad news. We ended up like not being able to air your episode because like something was really wrong with it." And I was just like, "Oh, okay." And she's like, "You idiot. I'm just joking with you. Like, I'm just fucking with you." And I was like, cool. And she's like, "I'm actually calling because we're doing like a champions tournament and we want you to be on it." And so she got me good. Yeah. And so it was really cool because I knew that I was going to be on this like other episode before this episode aired. You know, like I found out like 5 days before, which was very cool. And we had a big viewing party at my friend's like loft downtown. Yeah. And it was just like the greatest. Like,
that's just so cool.
Yeah. One of my good friends recorded the minute when like I won and like the whole room started cheering.
That's so cool.
And I will tell you, if I'm having a bad day, I'm just like playing it on repeat. Just like, it's so good. It's like the mood. It's the ultimate mood
That's
boost.
so cool.
Yeah.
It's so nice that everyone was so excited for you too.
I mean, it was so cute. It was just like surrounded by people who are like rooting for you. It's the best thing.
I mean, it's cool enough that you got the opportunity to do that, but you also won and then got to do it again. So the second time you were on, how did that
not
go?
win.
Okay.
I made it to the final round, but then I lost to actually another guy who lives in Chicago.
Oh, nice. Who was the guy? Do you remember? Or where he worked or what his deal was?
Yeah, he was an artist. Oh, he works at Kimski downtown or down in, what is that, Pilsen? I don't know. It's delicious. It's great. You should go there. You should put it on your list.
I'll put it on my list.
Yeah, they're very good. It's like Polish, Korean, I believe.
Oh.
It's wonderful.
Interesting.
His name is Juan. That's his name. I was like, what's his freaking name? Yeah. He was really cool.
Dang. So, I mean, you still got to the finals though. So you won one and got to the finals of another one. That's pretty impressive.
It's not the same. It is not the same
as winning.
Nope.
So was the experience the second time similar pretty much to the first time, or was it a different experience altogether?
It was pretty much the same.
Yeah.
It was a different group because all these other people had won, and so everyone was kind of like,
yeah.
But I was still like, I'm not gonna win, and then I did it. You know, it was like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Right.
But I think as far as like everybody else that was on was like posting on social media and like using all the hashtags and like trying to book events, being like Cutthroat Kitchen contestant, blah, 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 will be here. And I don't know, maybe it's like the Midwest in me, but I was like, meh, who cares? You know, like me, like who me? Like no one's going to care.
Myself.
Yeah, like why would anybody care kind of a thing?
Yeah.
And so looking back, I probably should have.
Yeah.
But I mean, and also it's the kind of thing where like industry people don't care because it's not so much a show about being a good cook. You know, it's like a show about being entertaining and like
I mean, working on your feet. To be on,
you know,
but
like mean. It's not like anybody who's hiring a chef from a restaurant that doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter to them at all. Being like a personal chef. Yeah. That's kind of a draw. Like, ooh, she was on TV. I want to hire her kind of a thing. Yeah, sure. So in the restaurant world, it doesn't matter at all. It actually might like detract a little bit because like, why are you trying to seek this? And like, why are you on this weird show? Yeah. But in the personal chef world, it was good.
Yeah. So with that, do you have a specific style you think with cooking and food? Do you use like certain ingredients or like do you lean towards a certain way of cooking? Or do you think you kind of are? It depends on the dish.
I mean, I don't think that I have like a certain style. I definitely.
Is that a thing that happens though? I'm not sure. In the culinary world?
For sure. Yeah, for sure. I think people that choose kind of my route have to be really kind of broad and have a lot, you know. I think what I'm probably the best at, because it's what I cook the most for my clients, they really love Asian food, like specifically Thai food and Korean food. Okay. So I think that's probably what I'm the best at, but I think I lead towards more like Middle Eastern, Mediterranean flavors myself. Sure. If I'm cooking for myself. Yeah. Or, you know, just making whatever I want. Right. But I mean, I like it all.
Yeah, because I feel like if you work in a restaurant, sometimes I feel like you're leaning towards just being fancy to be fancy, you know? And I feel like when you're at home eating, it's like, I don't want just like a tiny little portion of food. Like I want something that actually.
I want something that I like and that's enough. And
right. So it's like a different sort of feel to it.
Yeah. I think there's also like a comfort level that has to be reached if you're eating at home. You know, like when you're out, sometimes the flash is part of it. And so, you know what I mean?
Because you're going out. It's like an event. It's exciting.
Yeah. But then when you're home, you know, like you're home. That's like your safe space. That's where you want to be comfortable. Right. And so I think coziness is part of it.
Yeah.